The death metal girls are back in action after opening up for Iron Frill and someone like Junko having to rise to the occasion as being a team lead after being a solo artist in her original life, as I watches in a distance kind of in awe as she jumps on board and we have one electric finale of a song. It's great that they are zombies so you can have these most ridiculous special effects for the audience. They're like, oh my god, how are they doing these electrical wonders? It looks like they're using a hula hoop made of electricity, but of course they're humans, so that can't be what's happening. Their stage production is pretty impressive. It's just absolutely one of, if not the best performances we've seen in Zombieland Saga. I've seen quite a few people say it's their personal favorite, which, if you're an Ai or Junko fan, it's hard not to agree, and even if they aren't your top picks for best character, I mean, the heavy metal song itself, I mean, just with the guitar and drum beats, going with the mixture of Idol meets rock, it was such a great song, and then you get that more classical Idol finale, which was just the kind of icing on the cake or the cherry on top. I was really excited to see what they were going to do with Ai's story after she was invited to Iron Frill. While logically you would say, well, she wouldn't abandon them, there would naturally be a part of her that would want to go back to her all-star group. Some people are saying, well, there's no way for her to join back even if she wanted to because she's a zombie. Well, she probably couldn't expose her identity to most of the group. The leader of Iron Frill, I'm sure if she was to break it down to her that I'm a zombie, she is kind of so enthralled by their original leader already and the kind of fear that she can't live up to her legacy if she sees something in her. I guarantee you that that's the one character in the group that would be fine with it and would help her keep her identity a secret. So it's a matter of what does I want to do, and when she kind of punches the poster, not violently or anything, it pretty much says that had she offered her that back in season 1, she probably would have accepted. It kind of feels that way. The acceptance probably would have been something that wouldn't have been as hard, but given everything they've been through, given what their group means to her at this point, she can't abandon them, even if, the success of her original life was something she wishes to have. She can hopefully do it again with this group that she considers family and friends, right? But I mean, Junko is a character who definitely has some pipes on her. I think it's something you don't really expect to see. I mean, last week definitely surprised, I think, a lot of us, but I've been waiting for the big moment of this season that would really knock our socks off with something explosive with dancing and singing. And honestly, the performances seemingly are just getting better with time. The animation is a lot sharper. Even the 3D when they're moving around looked really good. I think it actually worked the best when it came to someone like Tai beating on the drums. I mean, she was going to town. I was like, holy shit, this is absolutely incredible. From her going from a pail. And we're like, honestly, it sounds pretty good, but how the hell are you going to get Tai to look interesting on a stage with a pail? For anime watchers, pretty easy, but for an idol crowd, you're gonna get booed off the stage. No, let's kind of raise her up as she's playing the drums. In comes Junko shredding on Kotaro's guitar, taking things a little too literal where he's saying you gotta smash it. I honestly believed him. I thought he was saying smash my guitar right then and there. And then when I saw her on stage, I was like, oh no, he was actually just saying it more like a metaphor, right? Take it, smash it, become something stronger. And when she actually did smash it after the song was over, as she points towards I, and you just see the most shocked reaction ever on this man's face, and then you see them try to repair it at the end of the episode. I mean, on one hand, they got the best performance ever. On the flip side, the axe has been destroyed, and I don't think there's any repairing it. And I wouldn't be surprised if we jump into next week's episode. He has his guitar around his, waist there, and it's just duct tape, scotch tape, all the tapes just kind of holding it together. But if he ever strums on it, it's probably going to shatter into a million pieces, right? I felt like it was one of the more explosive episodes that we've seen. And I really like there's a moment where you have Ai thinking back to Junko as she was watching YouTube videos, right? And it's her being nice, soft, and supportive. She's just playing an acoustic guitar as it phases into and kind of dissolves into her hard rock persona. And it really does show the evolution of her character. And I mean, any fan of Ai or Junko are going to be in love with this episode, it feels like. Especially considering that even after, everything was said and done, she was still saying, I'm going to show you what a real performance is like and you'll want to join Iron Frill. And everyone had those looks, especially someone like Junko saying, number 3 ain't going nowhere. And it was just nice. It felt like there's a healthy rivalry going on, and I think any sort of industry needs something to help kind of make you feel like you need to improve yourself as long as it's not getting toxic, right? If you have an objective like, oh, Iron Frill, we want to be able to get as popular as them, or maybe even more popular than them because we have this healthy rivalry, there's nothing wrong with that. And the fact that on TV, she actually said that her biggest competition is them, I think that's something that shows, like, even though, of course, she would want someone like I a part of their group, not only because of the similarities of their original leader, but because there's a lot of talent there, she also realizes that even without I, this group can do something pretty explosive, right? They still have a long way to go, there's no question about it, but I think for an emotional episode that had a bit of drama sprinkled throughout with the uncertainty of where everything would lead, because even if everyone, was fine, they were like, okay, yeah, she's clearly not leaving, we're going to put on a performance, what's that performance going to look like? And the fact that we started off shredding and banging on some drums as we had, I would say, my favorite song to date, it was just really, really engaging for me. And then we transitioned to this electrifying pop song. It just felt like a nice bow. It was like, holy shit. They go from failing on the big stage once before to literally opening up to their biggest competition and biggest idol group and doing so with the crowd going absolutely batshit wild. I think Mappa's definitely having fun with this season. I think the gap between season 1 and 2 was good. It allowed for them to improve their craft, especially on the 3D side with all the 3D projects that they've worked on over the years. I think the quality is honestly matching what we saw in season 1. If anything, the only other thing left to prove was something truly explosive with a musical performance. We got a double dose of that. I'm sure most people would agree, even with just a singular song. The heavy metal, the rock, the kind of like idol mixture all in one, that was good enough to call it a day. The second song was just a bonus that was a welcome surprise, and a pretty electrifying one at that. I think this show, for seeing what we're doing, it seems like we're getting a Lily-focused episode next week. I'm still waiting for some of these characters to get more time to shine, but given what they're able to do with the past couple episodes with characters like I and Junko, it definitely says to me that hopefully everyone's going to get at least an episode or two to probably flesh them out even more, and I'm waiting for all of them to really feel like a true cast of characters and people rather than just, okay, we're going to fill in the scene with a character who's going to cook for people. I'm still waiting for your episode, and I'm hoping we're going to get it sooner rather than later. Great episode, definitely one of the most memorable from both seasons, and I'm very excited for more. Let me know your thoughts and feelings, and definitely your favorite moment. I mean, I'm sure most people will highlight the musical performances, which is an obvious answer, but even just the moments where, like, you get those more emotional, heart-tugging scenes where you have Kotaro just trying to encourage, but also being a little goofy, or even just like, oh my god, are these friends about to explode? There's a lot of good smaller moments, so if you have any of those, definitely tell me down below in the comment section. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, share your support, and hit that subscribe button if you're happy new around here. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.